Thank you so much for staying with us this morning. We are talking about your heart. Your heart desires.
No. Which desires?
Yes.
The is not emotion.
Your heart desires are a combination of deep-seated emotions, human needs like love, connection, etc. But let us talk about the heart that makes that heart relevant this morning. Yonda Agbeniga joins us. She is Managing Director and Principal Consultant, Media Ideas Lifestyle and Wellness Center. Thank you for staying with us.
Good morning.
Essentially, we're talking about heart health, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, do we even give much thought to what the heart wants?
Well, not necessarily, because it's an organ that is not visible. So we just think we're existing. So, but that is the center of basically everything. That's where life is sustained. The electrical channels, blood pumping, the capacity to generate oxygen-rich blood that powers your cells to produce energy.
But in seeing it that way, great as it is, perhaps the challenge really is whether or not we are, I don't even know how to put this, whether or not we pay attention to the importance of the heart. As you said, it is not seen. It does amazing work without seeking attention. Now, it is what it is. It is giving us all the important elements that we need to that we need to give it. But the challenge remains as to whether or not we even know what we want as far as the heart is concerned. Whether or not we are aware that, the heart that pumps blood, right, is actually pumping this blood to our advantage. One of the things that I often argue, Joke, is that while the heart does the amazing job of pumping blood, we, the people, we don't even know what the heart is doing. So how do we navigate that, madam?
Okay, so I was thinking while I was trying to do a little bit of research before coming on that the bane of the problem with heart health is lack of information, lack of knowledge. So people don't necessarily know what the body needs or what the heart needs, and so there's a lot of disobedience and ill treatment. Disobeying what the body needs and ill treatment of the heart. So the first thing we need to do is get some education about the heart and what it requires. In short, what is the function? How does it work? If we know how it works, then there are do's and don'ts we won't follow. The first thing is that the basic thing the heart needs is oxygen-rich blood. So it needs that. It's like having a pumping machine in your house. In Nigeria, we are familiar with pumping machine. So you have a pumping machine connected to pipes that transfer the water from the pumping machine to the house. Now the house gets the water and circulates it to the bathroom, kitchen, and everything. That's how the heart is. It's the machine pumping it. Then the wires connecting it to the house are what we call the blood vessels or the arteries. Now the same way the pipes can get clogged, that's the same way the wires that are pumping the water or pumping the blood gets clogged. Now, a lot of things can go wrong from the pumping and from the wires. That's the basic problem. The machine pumping water must never stop. That's the heart. The thing pumping the blood must never stop. And what does it need to really function very well? Oxygen-rich blood. So that's the place of exercise. I always say that exercise, brisk walking, activity, not being sedentary, is not only for six packs. It's for your heart, first of all. That's why it's called aerobics. Aerobics. So you need air to circulate. Now it's pumping that thing round. One problem is if the wires or the pipes are blocked. Now that goes to maintenance. if the wires transmitting water to the house are blocked, or there is something called air valve in the pumping machine, the water doesn't get in, though the pumping machine is full. So the same thing, if the wires transmitting blood, that oxygen-rich blood that is being pumped, are blocked, it also circulates through the veins deoxygenated blood that is utilized, and then circles it back. So if either the vein or the arteries oxygenated blood, veins deoxygenated blood, used up blood, are blocked, there's a lot of problem. Everything, that's where the problem is. So what can block it? What's the first thing? It is fat, plaque, inflammation, poor lifestyle, not giving it what the heart needs, not lack of nutrients. So if you know that I'm going somewhere, when the high blood pressure comes, now that pumping machine is still pumping, but the outlets have narrowed because of burger, fats, margarine.
We'll come to those, and I know you're going somewhere, but I'd like you to, if you don't mind, stay on that aerobics part for a second.
We need to ask,
Yeah, because people probably don't even know that aerobics doesn't, maybe the mere thought that, okay, aerobics means I have to go to the gym, I have to carry dumbbells, I have to run, so if you can simplify it, what exactly is it about?
Yeah, can I add to that? I mean, hold on to his thoughts, what it's about. But, you said something about aerobics is not about having six-pack. People, they still tell us do aerobics to keep fit, but you're not said do aerobics to keep your heart healthy. If a lot of people knew that it's not just doing aerobics to keep fit, but it's to keep that, your heart needs it, more people will get on it, that brisk walking. And you see more people doing it because they know that their heart needs to be healthy. If you attach it to the heart, maybe more people will get to doing that.
Yeah, that's true. Aerobics, you need air. You need oxygen. You need oxygen-rich blood, and the more when you're done, the more the heart is pumping, the more circulation you get.
Yes.
And circulation is life. Once there's a block in circulation, it's shut down. So that organ starts to die, and that's when people have that. Oh, my heart! That's angina, and angina is a precursor to heart attack. I mean, what it means is that portion of the heart that stung you does not have blood getting to it and oxygen. And so he's warning you, I want to die. In short, I'm dying. So you get that sting, and then you hold it, and then you hit it, and then blood flows there. And then it goes, and you think everything is fine. That's a bad warning signal, which you need to act on. Okay, so like you were saying, aerobics is getting the heart to pump. So brisk walking, jumping jacks in your room, like up, down, is exercising to get the heart. But then you also burn calories. So that's the other benefit. The six-pack thing, the weight loss thing, those are targeted programs. I want to dumbbell. I want to build muscle. I want to have the hourglass shape. Yeah, you're targeting something. I want to lose weight. That's it. But then the other benefit of it is your heart gets to pump. So why we do brisk walking is because we want to increase the pump rate. You do that, then your heart is pumping very well and blood is being pushed down. Then there's a deep breathing part which allows your blood to go. So there's the formula called 848. I'm sharing it. You do take in air for 8 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and push out for 8 seconds. So 8, 4, then push out.
You're not doing it. Okay.
I didn't count up to 8.
No, let's do that. Let's do it. It doesn't kill somebody. 8.
4. Hold it. Then push out gradually. Now you feel like you are running, didn't you? You felt like you had just finished running. Yeah, because the blood gets way deep down into your body.
So people will ditch running for this stuff.
No, now.
They will ditch running. See if I can do this. Why do this?
Wow.
So essentially, number one thing that you believe that the heart needs is aerobics.
Yeah.
Okay, no. The heart needs oxygenated blood,
Yes.
which comes from exercise, from aerobics, from mobility.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, mobility.
So you're saying, if I'm getting you right, the faster you move, the more oxygen you get.
Yeah, the more the heart pumps,
The more the
you
heart
get more
pumps.
circulation.
Okay, but we don't need the lion chasing them before they run. Okay. Then you also talked about nutrition.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us a little more about that.
Okay, so I'll give just a few. There's something called magnesium, which you need for the electrical activity of the heart. Now, then you need something called arginine. It's part of the heart muscles. Those are nutrients you get. You get magnesium from green leaf vegetables.
Yeah.
However, sometimes we're so deficient that we need to supplement. Please do not say you don't need to supplement. Arginine also, you can get it from, I think, meats or something. I'm not particularly sure, but you can also supplement it. There are things that your heart needs to function. Nitric oxide, magnesium nitric oxide, quite a lot to ensure. So if you get things, then omega-3 helps with removing bad fats and retaining good fat, helps with removal of plaque formation. But eating right is ultimately what you need for the heart. So you need every healthy food. Just ditch the junk. That's all you need. Just ditch the junk. Go for the organics. Go for the naturals. Home cooked food, greens, vegetables, as much as possible. Just snack on them. Carrots, rabbit style. Oranges, bananas, pawpaw. Yeah, they say banana is fattening, but at least get some fiber, which helps with cleaning off things in your body. So cucumbers, amazing. Helps with cleaning out even your digestive system. But walnuts, good for the heart. Good oils. You need to do good oils. There's a difference between groundnut oil and vegetable oil. Groundnut oil is also good. It's cholesterol free. Olive oil, coconut oil, people will be like that, those expensive oils, but they're stable under heat. So their smoke point is very high. So they don't disintegrate under heat. So you're taking them and they're not clogging your arteries. Okay, I was building up to the wire getting clogged or the pipes getting clogged. The lifestyle we maintain and the lack of support of nutrients for it helps with destroying those pipes. So apart from fat building up in it, and the pumping machine is still pumping, and the pressure from the pump is still sustained, but the output has been reduced.
Yeah.
So pressure builds within the pipes, and then there's high blood pressure.
Yeah.
Apart from that, stress and anxiety, you're working on adrenaline, the one that you're supposed to use to jump over a fence. You're overworked. You worked 23 hours out of the day, and you still have a project to deliver, and you're still awake. That's adrenaline. Cortisol, adrenaline, all those hormones add to inflammation. All those negative stress-induced hormones add to inflammation of the wire. So the body starts to kind of degenerate. So that's a double whammy: in problem, out problem. So you need to ensure that you shut down inflammation. Now, when the high blood pressure gets to a point, you need quite a lot of medications to help stabilize it. But you're not going to get a reversal or a healing if you don't change.
Yeah.
If you don't take things to help you clear that thing out and to reduce the inflammation. So you would be on your medications and continue to increase your medications if you do not change.
I'm a little interested, perhaps a little more, in that clogging. Someone is watching us right now who is wondering how they could have been clogging their water pipes or blood pipes through what they eat, and they don't even know. It's not easy to stop eating those delicious junks. They are sweet. I mean, have you eaten those chicken before? I don't want to mention any brand, so I don't get so charged. They are sweet, like they are sweet. And then there are some people. Somebody is watching me right now who knows a place where they sell the best meat pie. Chai. Yeah. Now there's another place at Ikeja GRA. The ice cream is out of this worldly. Is there. So, and you are telling us to stop eating all these fine things. God created them, didn't he? So, I don't know. How do we? Is there a middle ground?
Okay, so to be honest, I was going to give a very funny answer, like choose life or death. But then the truth is, it's not particularly easy. You know, you have to recalibrate your taste bud. It wasn't easy when I stopped quite a number of things, you know, like 7, 8, 9 years going on some things, you know, but then understanding the effect of those things on your lifespan, on degenerative diseases, terminal illnesses, would help you make those decisions. So you should, winning yourself is the starting point, and engaging more of what you need, you know, till you gradually recalibrate your taste bud. Now, let me give an example. Someone who has had a stint with stroke will never say those things because he's been incapacitated. One side of his body can't walk, can't talk. If you tell him don't do this, he would gladly obey. So the thing is, we need to look at the end stage of some of our decisions. Yes, there are times that there's nobody who is 100% pure in these roles, in this game. So the thing is to know what not to do. If you do some, you should be able to add some, I'm just being candid, you should be able to add some good things like the greens and coal to help you, you know. Stay away from anything that will block your pipe. It could lead to destruction. I mean, that's saying it rather mildly. You know, there are times you take some of these pies and you show your chest. That's a warning signal.
But it's not only junk food. I mean, there are other things. You say home cooking, but even in cooking at home, there are things that you cook for yourself and you eat that could also contribute to this.
Right. So, like they talk about the chicken, like try to do farm-raised chicken. You know, farm-raised as much as possible. In all honesty, chicken back is sweet.
Thank you. The eyes have it.
Yes.
The eyes have it.
But then boil it, grill, air fry. The oils will come off. So if you can't do without the back, grill.
You are imagining it.
Seriously. So grill, but then have a lot of salads, vegetables along with it. You know, the thing about, like, I have a mentor who calls the living foods. The thing about live foods is that they still have their own enzymes. Like if you're doing cabbage with your suya, or cucumber with your suya, the enzymes in the cabbage and the cucumber helps you with digesting the meat, because the enzymes in the meat are dead already. Proteins die with it, so you still get something to help.
I think those the vendors doing suya, the local vendors doing suya now, I think they have the memo.
Yes.
Because what they sell with the suya, like the guy down Channel C,
like they are telling
he has cabbage
and onion
and cucumber and onion. Yes. It's added to the suya plus the suya, but it's there. So, I mean, I think he got the memo that...
In other words, they know what will kill you, they also know...
No, but she said that the cabbage and the cucumber were helping digesting the meat. So it's a good combination.
They know what can kill you, and they also know what can kill you. That's what they say.
So get a lot of it. That will help. A lot of... Yeah, there's one other thing. This is the part that is most overlooked, that the heart functions with an electrical circuit. I want us to take our minds back to the surgery room or the emergency room, the ER, where someone wants to do a surgery and they're connected to that stuff that reads like this, you know. Immediately that electricity goes flat. The person is gone. Okay, so that means electricity is important. There's a form of electrotherapy that helps with the heart. Maintaining your electrical circuit system also helps. So it's called electrotherapy. Helps you, just charges you up, charges your mitochondria. That's the powerhouse of the body. So you just connect to electricity now, not to your fan's electricity.
I was wondering.
No. There's healthy EMF, electromagnetic fields, and then there's bad EMF, the infrared, the pulsed electromagnetic fields. They help you with circulation, they help you with energy, they help your bodies with charging and ensuring that blood flows very well through those circuits.
So essentially, our bodies have battery that need to be charged.
Yes, please.
Okay, but so how do we do that? Is that something that can be done naturally? Is there a food I can eat that will charge my battery? I'm just...
Okay, so there are electrical charging systems. They're called PEMF, pulse electromagnetic fields, offered at different places.
Okay.
You need to find them. However,
Oh, really?
yes.
I think that's one of the... it's one of the things you do as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Then there is something called grounding. Now, grounding is ensuring your feet connect to the ground because of the Schumann frequency. That's physics and quantum mechanics, a little bit of that. Your body connects to the Schumann frequency on the earth. There's a gravitational force, there are electrical fields in the earth. So you just ground, but there are different places, grades of grounding. You know, tiles don't give very because you've layered it. German floors, but sand, beach sand, working on gravels, those are closer to the earth and there's no obstruction. So you're able to get some of the electrical charges from the earth. If you really dig deep into the guys that went into space, Yuri Gagarin and co, when they came back, because they were out of the earth's electromagnetic force field, they were disintegrated, so they have to be, that's why they have to go through trainings, and then when they came back, they were kept in the chamber for some time to reconnect because they were literally almost sick, you know. So we need that frequency to keep our bodies going as much as possible.
What is one that we're always saying, wear your shoe, wear your slippers?
No, rubber disconnects you from the charge as much as possible. But then when you are home, try and walk around a little bit barefooted. And then there's always a caveat for diabetics. You don't want to walk around barefooted and get an injury because you will not heal very well. So be careful. If you're going to ground, it's called grounding. You can read it up. If you're going to ground, please be very careful that you don't have a cut, especially if you're diabetic.
And the thing we're always telling, before you say I'm talking about children again, we're always telling them, wear your slippers. It's cold. No, it's like, you know, because it's because you don't want anybody to get, to get sick or anything. So you always say, wear your shoe. Why you not wearing your, so where's the,
so for the children, let me explain that. For the children, especially babies, you need to ensure that they maintain that warmth.
Yes.
They're not in the category of where the elderly ones are like
they can wear socks around.
We are the ones that are oxygen deficient.
They are running
up and down. They cannot do without it. That's true.
So please wear protective gear for children, especially for cold and for injuries.
Yes. Always running.
Okay. So
as well.
After grounding, so let's quick list. Number one, aerobics.
Yes.
Oxygen-rich blood.
Yes.
2, good nutrition, eating good food. You've also talked about clearing the bloodway, the pipes
that connect,
and all of those things. I'm a little concerned about that. So someone gets a slight injury, and for some reason the blood doesn't clot on time. What's responsible for that?
They have what we call coagulopathy, coagulation problems.
Yeah, you asked the question.
Oh, right, I'm so sorry.
Okay. Speak English, please.
They have clotting issues, so their blood is not clotting very well. So for that kind of person, you need to do what we call a full blood count. Yeah, so we check your platelets. You need to check your prothrombin index. We need to check your D-dimer to see if you have issues with clotting. Then that will be treated.
So it's a different.
Yes.
But some people have. I've heard some people have that particular issue. Like, I mean, they have that condition that the blood does not clot.
Yeah.
So, and you said it can be treated. Is it being treated because it's a one-off thing with that person, or do people have that condition that it just cannot be treated?
No. There's a deficiency of, I think, vitamin K, so that they need, and then there are some that are genetic clotting factor problems. So we need to find out when someone is having that issue, we need to find out what the real issues are. Is it a deficiency? Is it acquired? Is it genetic? Based on the cause is how the body will be treated.
So, but there are foods, you talked about deficiency now, so there are certain foods that help blood to improve as well.
Blood volume.
Quality of blood.
Yes, to improve, yes.
Okay. Because before some people start, because you talked about magnesium the other time, the next thing someone is going to do now is go to the next pharmacy.
Go and stock up on magnesium.
Stock up on magnesium because Dr. Yondagbeniga says it's a good thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Okay. To stock up on magnesium.
Really? Yes.
Right.
Can you overdose on magnesium?
You can overdose on anything.
Okay. Now, what are the things that people need to be careful about this week, particularly in the area of, I know you have mentioned some of them, but what are the things that people need to be careful about this week, and what are things that need to be done now as people are watching us?
Okay, so typically it's to slow down on junk. Yeah. Junk has never benefited anyone. I'll say the tough one for everyone. If you're overweight, please try and lose weight. I mean, because like when we're checking initial vitals, we have these vitals we run, BMI and stuff. And then we check visceral fat. Yeah, we apart from blood pressure, sugar and stuff, we take a couple of tests like BMI, visceral fat, and all those things. So the visceral fat is here, the fat around your abdomen.
Yes.
Abdomen. So the problem most times is if you have fat in your abdomen, that's your organs are from here to here. So that fat is pressing on your organ.
Right.
Not only pressing on your organ, is found within your blood vessels, the pipes. Okay, so when we check waist circumference for men, if we find that your waist circumference is excessive, you have this big bulging thing in front of you, you are predisposed to high blood pressure and diabetes. High blood pressure and diabetes. So that's a quick way of checking. There's a specific number. I'm not sure what the number is. It's different for men and it's different for women. And then sometimes you can't generalize for a woman because of conception, delivery, uterine expansion. That's the womb expansion due to delivery. So if you check that fat that is bulging out is also blocking the arteries. Wow. So losing weight, ensuring that you burn off those calories is essential. Now you might want to go and cut off those fats. You cut them off, you don't change, they'll go back. So that's why the modification of lifestyle is important. Modify as much as possible. Read calories. Read the back of whatever it is you're buying. Sugar is a major culprit. Sugar is converted to glucose. Excess glucose is converted to glycogen, which is stored as fat.
So is this also age dependent? And I see in men as I see in women.
Yes.
There are times when, growing up your teenage years, you're chubby when you're, before you're 10 years. Then by the time you're getting to your teens, you burn off the fats, the hormones are changing. But and all that. And then by the time you hit you're getting into your 30s, before your 40s, you see that you have started adding weight. Kind of, that's what the age. So, I mean, when do we start, cutting down on these things and eating healthy? Where do we draw that line?
So thank you very much for asking this. One of the things I started out focusing when I'm training is I talk a lot about hormone health for women. You see, your hormones, there's sometimes that at certain ages, especially during perimenopause, the age before you enter menopause, the hormones are going like this. And exercise, don't eat fat, drink water, you'll still add weight. So there's something called estrogen dominance. There's a specific hormone, that thing that gives us this, hips and the bust. It's also, sometimes it's misbehaving, the fibroid and all that. So look, at that time, we need a lot of understanding. We will exercise, we'll do everything, but your hormones sometimes will not make you lose weight no matter what you do. That's just the truth.
So can we?
I stand to be corrected.
Can we hack those hormones?
Yeah, you can. There are things you can do to, especially if you're having hormonal imbalance.
Unfortunately, you will not tell us.
She will not tell you. You have to go and meet her in her office, please.
We have to thank you very much
again
for your time this morning. I think what we just all need to. I was going to ask you. And you mentioned it, but if you can just talk about it for 30 seconds. How important is water, hydrating, in this whole sphere?
Okay, yeah, so there's, like I was talking about full blood count before. If you go into biochemistry, your cell, your blood plasma, if it's water, that's the fluid where your blood cells are, all those things in your blood are suspended. So you need to be hydrated. Otherwise, you'll be dehydrated. Your blood, in the layman's language, which I never want to use, your blood will be thick.
Oh, wow.
But then don't overhydrate anyway, but then you need water.
All right. Well, you've just talked about another topic altogether.
Overhydration.
Some other time.
No, don't worry. She'll come and talk about that.
Oh, she will.
She's the one that opened it up.
Dr. Yongda Agbeniga, Managing Director, CEO, Media Ideas, Lifestyle and Wellness. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see how hydrated our guest. Let's see how healthy his heart and his blood is when we return from this break.
Stay with us.